For our warm-up today, I would like for you to write down all three of these fractions and then list three equivalent fractions for each one. Go ahead and pause your video. So let's check your work for the first problem. I went ahead and did 10 of them just in case to see if maybe you got some of the same ones. So 2/8 would be 1, 3/12, 4/16, 5/20, 6/24, 7/28, 8/32, 9/36, or 10/40. And of course we could keep going and keep going, but we won't. So we'll take a look at number 2 next. So if you haven't done that one, go ahead and pause your video. All right, so let's take a look at how you did with 2/3. I went ahead again and wrote the first 10 just to see if you got any of those. So 4/6, 6/9, 8/12, 10/15, 12/18, 14/21, 16/24, 18/27, and 20/30. Go ahead and let's take a look at 3/7. All right, let's see how you did with 3/7. 6/14, 9/21, 12/28, 15/35, 18/42, 21/49, 24/56, 27/63, and 30/70. Of course, you only had to list 3, but I just wanted to cover my bases. All right, for your math message today, you're going to need to complete number 1 on SMJ page 184, and I've gone ahead and put that in the video today just to kind of show you what it looks like. So if you would, pause your video, get out that workbook page, open it up, go ahead and do number 1, and come back when you're ready. Okay, so let's check to see how you did. Letter A, we should have had less than. Letter B, you should have had greater than. Letter C, you should have had greater than. Letter D, less than. And letter E was greater than. Now here is my question. What did you notice about whether it was greater than or less than? Let's look to see if we see any kind of pattern. We had a less than here, and what we multiplied times 5 was less than 1. This one was also less than 1, and we had a less than. Let's look to see. Now, the greater than, these 3 over here, we got a greater than. 2 1/3 is greater than 1. 1 is 1. And then 5/4 is greater than 1. Interesting. Something to think about there. Our lesson today is explaining the equivalent fractions rule. The reason that we're doing this lesson is we need to be able to build on understanding of creating equivalent fractions. We also need to be able to see the relationship between equivalent fractions. And how we're going to do that is use and understand a rule for creating equivalent fractions by using fractions equal to 1. So that brings us to fractions equal to 1. I have a name collection box here, and what I would like you to do on a scrap sheet of paper or a dry erase board, whatever it is that you have to write with, I want you to make your own name collection box, and we're going to fill it in with fractions that are equal to 1. So go ahead and pause your video and see if you can come up with 4 or 5 of them. Okay, I went ahead and did my name collection box, and my question to you is, what do you notice? What do you notice about all of these fractions that are equal to 1? I notice that my numerator and my denominator are the same number. Numerator, denominator, same number. Numerator, denominator, same number. And so I could continue to go on and on and on to even 100 over 100, and those would all be equal to 1. So, what we're going to do to make an equivalent fraction today is we are going to take the original fraction times a fraction name for 1. So we just made a list of those, which equals an equivalent fraction. So for example, if we look at 4/10, I am going to choose a fraction that also equals 1, and I'm going to multiply that times the original fraction. For example, let's say that I decide to multiply this times 2/2. This would give me an equivalent fraction of 4 times 2 is 8, and 10 times 2 is 20. 8/20. Okay, that's one equivalent fraction. I could have also picked any other number to make an equivalent fraction for 4/10. So again, I took the original fraction times a fraction name for 1 and then got an equivalent fraction. So let's try another one. We have 6/8, so let's say I pick a different number this time. Let's say that I picked 4/4, which again is a fraction name for 1. We're going to do 6 times 4, which is 24, and 8 times 4, which is 32. So my equivalent fraction is 24/32. Let's look at the next one. We have 2/6. Let's say that I pick 5/5 this time. Again, using a fraction name for 1. We're going to multiply 2 times 5, which is 10, and 6 times 5, which is 30. Here is my equivalent fraction, 10/30. Now, how could I check this? I could use fraction circles. I could use fraction number lines. I could look at fraction strips. And I would see if I looked at the fraction, for example, the first one, if I found 4/10 and then I found 8/20, I would see that the same amount would be shaded, or it would be the same amount or in the same spot on a number line. So that's going to just kind of prove to you that yes, those fractions are equivalent or equal to one another. So let's go ahead and summarize. We can take a fraction and multiply it by a fraction name for 1, and we can make an equivalent fraction. Now that's good stuff. See you in class.